So here's the second principle we're not supposed to miss. When Jesus wants something done on this good earth, Jesus calls his followers, the church, Star Mount Presbyterian Church, to do it. And Jesus' power takes what you and I bring, what you and I offer, what you and I do, and multiplies it in only the ways that Jesus can. So let me ask, do you think that Jesus needed the loaves and fish that day to feed all those people? I don't think so. So why, may I ask, did Jesus ask the disciples for it? Jesus asked them because he wanted his followers to see that when they bring what they have, Jesus will bring what he has. When it comes to the power of Christ working in our lives and in church, most of us are waiting for Jesus to do something for us. But did you ever think that maybe Jesus wanted to do something through us instead? What do you and I and Star Mount have to do right now that Jesus is asking us to bring to him? But we think it's too insignificant. Or perhaps we think Jesus won't show up when we step up in faith. When John tells the story of the feeding of the 5,000, he adds an interesting line. Right after Jesus asks for what the disciples have, John says, Jesus said this to stretch their faith. He already knew what he was going to do. Think about that. Jesus already knows what he is going to do through you, through Star Mount. When we bring to him what we have, when we use our gifts and abilities, when we serve and sacrifice our time, Jesus is just waiting to see if we're going to bring it. And when we do, it will be multiplied. And others will be fed. And you and I will be fed too. So when Jesus wants something done on earth, he calls his followers, the church, to do it. When the church, the people, start to give what they have, Jesus multiplies it and makes it enough for the task at hand. And the third principle in this story that there is always enough and a little to spare for tomorrow. After the disciples fed all who were present on the hillside that day, including themselves, there was one basket left over for each disciple. So here's the deal today, Star Mount. You who are members and friends have reflected with gratitude on the ways that this church has served Jesus Christ in the past, and the people Star Mount has touched, and the ministry that Star Mount has accomplished over the years. And it has been grand and glorious and faithful. But Jesus is here today saying, it's okay to look back. It's okay to look back as long as you still continue to give forward. The miracle of the multiplication reminds us that there is a neighborhood, Star Mount Forest, a city, Greensboro, a country, the United States, and beyond that, a whole wide world. There are people everywhere who are yearning for spiritual food, and they are hungry for someone to guide them, to lead them to have less selfish lives. Someone to connect them with the mystery that's God, the love that is Jesus, the presence that is the Holy Spirit, for their sake and for our own sake, because we, after all, have the same longings. Star Mount Church is still here. So you and I have a wonderful opportunity today to ensure that the work, the ministry, the service will go on. And I hope that you realize the importance of this moment in the history of our church and the importance of the role that you personally play in Star Mount's present and Star Mount's future. Because the good news, and maybe even the scary news, about life in the church, life as a disciple, life in God's kingdom, life at Star Mount Presbyterian, is that the ministry, the service, the discipleship, the witness never ends. Despite all that we've done and will do, there are still hungry people waiting. And Jesus' words ring clear. They need not go away. You give them something to eat. And so Starmount has. And so Starmount is. And so, with continued faithfulness and God's grace, Starmount ever shall. Thanks be to God.